Hello and welcome to Mad About Sports for yet another team analysis. And of course, today we're going to be talking about the Punjab Kings. Yes, a team which has been waiting for their IPL trophy for last 15 years. A team which really promised to have a lot of stars in the last few years, but they really did not get their mark to get to that trophy or get into the playoffs. Now let's look at the two seasons where they qualified into the playoffs. The two seasons where they qualified into the playoffs in the inaugural edition in 2008 and in 2014 under George Bailey, where they went on to play the IPL final. After that, they've not really qualified into the playoffs. A telling stat, isn't it? They've not really made it as well. In the last few seasons, they've had one permanent position which they have ended up on. That was number six. The last season, they ended up being on number six. In 2021, in number six, and 2020 as well ended up being there. So it's not an ideal start for a team like Punjab Kings. They've ended up being on number six more often than not really having their goods. They had some phenomenal players in the last few seasons. If we talk about 2018 season, they had likes of Chris Gale playing for them, that KL Rahul playing for them, Mayank Agarwal playing for them, Ravichandran Ashwin playing for them. Then, of course, after that, they had Glenn Maxwell and Nicholas Pooran playing together as well in 2020. What really stops this team from qualifying, regardless of despite of having so many players, so many superstars? We really thought KL Rahul was an ideal captain for them. Then they really found out it's not working well with KL Rahul. Then they split ways with KL Rahul, got Mayank Agarwal on board, and it just did not work with Mayank Agarwal as well. Now remember, the only franchise to have 13 captains in the 16 seasons is Punjab Kings. A lot of captains, a lot of change in coaching roles as well over the years. Definitely something not working in their favor. Maybe not persisting enough with enough coaches. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they've not found success. One can say so. Maybe this is an ideal captain. Shikhar Dhawan comes out as a captain who is very friendly among the peers, a very friendly captain, knows how to handle a lot of things, an experienced campaigner. Is this the last throw of the dice for Punjab Kings? Maybe yes. Maybe give it an opportunity to Shikhar Dhawan to see how he goes about it. Meanwhile, groom another captain as well. Every season when Punjab Kings turn out, you wonder who's going to be their next captain. Now, that's a kind of cliche which they have created around the IPL circuit or around cricketing circuit in general. Maybe this is a ideal coaching staff. Remember, they've got a very strong coaching staff. They've got Trevor Bellis, part of the Punjab as the coaching staff, a World Cup winning coach, knows a lot of tactical nuances. Is one of the primary reasons why England adopted that aggressive approach in the limited overs format as well. Now, last season, they were one of the favorites, especially with the kind of balance they had on the paper. Now, if you look back at the last season, they had Liam Livingston, Johnny Bairstow there, alongside Mayank Agarwal and Shikhar Dhawan. All of a sudden, people were like, wait a minute, maybe this team can do some special things. But yet again, they did crumble, and they crumbled badly. How did they start off last season, right? If you look at the wins and losses, it tells a telling stat as well. Let's look at the wins and losses of last season. They did bat first on 9 of the occasions. They just went on to win 3 times. And they ball first 5 times and they went on to win 3 times. So they had 6 wins in total. And you can say they preferred chasing than batting first. But there's something which is very, very distinct from this stat. That is the way in which they batted. Initially, when the IPL started off last season, the opening game against Royal Challengers Bangalore, they went on to demolish Royal Challengers Bangalore despite chasing 205, 206 odd in that game. Now that's an incredible start, incredible way to start off. And they came out with an approach where they're going to play aggressive brand of cricket. And people thought, of course, this is a team to worry all of a sudden, because aggressive brand of cricket with two power pack English middle order bats there, that makes him a very dangerous team. Also, to add to that, Banuka Rajapaksha was another player as well who really was part of that particular way of or style of play as well. Punjab wanted to play an aggressive brand of cricket where go after the bowling attacks from the word go, take on different bowling attacks, and maybe score anything in excess. They did not really mind, even if they were losing wickets, bat in a certain template, and that was really successful during the initial bit. But somewhere or other, when they started to face losses, maybe have found out, okay, maybe this is not the way to go, and they couldn't find a middle ground. They couldn't bat slow, or they couldn't bat aggressively, and that particular conundrum of being stuck in the middle really put them in a tough position. And that's one of the reasons why they crumbled and they couldn't finish in the playoffs. Or else, if you look, that was the team to really get past into the playoffs. Every time you look into a Punjab lineup, you always have this feeling, okay, this is a season for them to really get into the playing level. Now, if you look in the previous seasons as well, now one major issue for Punjab before the start of the season is that Johnny Bairstow is ruled out of the season. So not having Johnny Bairstow there is going to be a tough thing for them. Now, when you don't have Johnny Bairstow, a player who really scored a lot of runs for them last season, is not going to be present this season. Now, how are they going to go about it? That's going to be very interesting to see. Are they going to really slot in someone like a Banuka Rajapaksa and say, you do a similar job to what Johnny Bairstow did for us last season? And they'd also have a lot of reliance on someone like a Sam Curran, a big buy for them, the highest ever paid player in IPL history at this point of time. He is definitely coming with a lot of pressure upon the price tag. At the same time, they'll be expecting him to deliver both with the bat and also with the ball, which we'll be talking about definitely through the course of this video. Let's also understand where they went wrong last season, because team is very similar. One of the reasons why we're picking up the last season stats is teams are almost very similar. Not a lot of tinkering or changes have been done. Let's look at the batting versus bowling stat to understand where they really went wrong. If you look at the batting first stat, there is one positive sign about them. That is, of course, about batting first at a very higher clip. But they lost wicket. That's one problem with the Punjab Kings. They kept on losing wickets while batting first, trying to bat at a higher tempo. Hence, they couldn't really find a middle ground. Maybe at the start of the season, their strike rate, the run rate was close to 9 to 10 batting first. And all of a sudden, when they started realizing, though we are batting in such a way, we are losing wickets consistently. That really put them in a conundrum not to have a particular philosophy which they should have followed, and that really put them in serious trouble as well as they went along in the tournament. And that was one of the major reasons why their possibly, you can say, the wheels of the Punjab team came off very early. Bowling first, they were pretty good. The bowling team was very good throughout the last season. They really found decent core in Arshdeep Singh, Khagicho Rabada, Rahul Chair, and also Vishy Dhawan stepping up whenever need be, and also with Harpreet Brar as well. So you can say the bowling was always one of their biggest strengths. But batting second, now if you talk about batting second as well, one of the stronger suits, they really did back themselves to chase down more of these totals as well. They did really come out well, chasing down totals. That's one of the reasons why you see their bat, whenever they batted second, they won more of their games as well. They preferred doing it. They had the artillery to do it as well. They had Liam Livingston, Johnny Bairstow really taking the attack onto the bowlers, and Shikhar Dhawan being a foil around that batting order as well. Whenever Shikhar Dhawan did bat for the longer period of time, other players could bat in a certain way. But they had to tinker a lot once again. Mayank Agarwal started opening the batting. Then all of a sudden, he had to drop down to number 4. There was no clarity in that batting order. That's one of the primary reasons why they scrambled as well, one can say so, at the end of it. Now, this is Punjab's major strength, right? That's how they went about in the last season. But how can they really improve from the last season to this season? Who are the players they can go up to? Now, if you look at the best batters of the last season, you can understand who were them. Rabanuka Rajapaksa had a decent season because he was batting at a very high strike rate. He batted close to 160 last season, though he not scored a lot of runs, but his strike rate was very prominent. There's one thing which is very common in that everybody batted with a higher strike rate, with Shikhar Dhawan being that anchor in that batting order. You need an anchor whenever you're batting in that kind of way, because on bad days you will lose a lot of wickets, and that's what Shikhar Dhawan was trying to control, but he was not good enough to do it. It was not the Shikhar Dhawan kind of season. He was batting at 120 strike rate and he scored less than 500 runs. In the previous 2 seasons prior to that, you saw Shikhar Dhawan coming out and scoring 500 plus one season, 600 run season, where Shikhar Dhawan was really stamping the authority as a batter, helping whichever team he was playing to really cross over the line more often than not. Shikhar Dhawan opening with Prithvi Shaw was one of the highlights of that as well. Really helping, really being that anchor at the same time, batting through the course of the innings and accelerating towards the latter end as well. Liam Livingston had a very good season, both with the bat and also with the ball. He came out by striking at 182. That's something which you will get from Liam Livingston on any day. That's something which you need to expect as well. But Johnny Bairstow on the other end had a hot and cold season. He was pushed up the batting order. Initially, he had a very bad season, batting at number 4. Hence, he was pushed up, but then he couldn't really find a feed there as well. But one of the bright prospects of the last season was Jitesh Sharma, the wicketkeeper batter. Now, what to expect from Jitesh Sharma this year? Now, remember, Jitesh Sharma is also considered by the Indian team as well. He's also a backup keeper. He was also called up to the Indian camp on a couple of the occasions for 2 of the series. So he's a keeper batter who's been discussed even in the national level. He's definitely seen upon this could be a breakthrough season for Jitesh Sharma. If he can have a good season with them, batting alongside someone like a Liam Livingston through the middle of the innings, batting with finishing with Sam Curran as well, that could really help his stocks to go really up, and maybe help him to be in the reckoning for the T20 World Cup in 2024 as well. Now, what do we really expect out of this batting order this season? Can they play in their aggressive manner? They definitely can. They've got the goods to do it. They've got the players to do it. But who's going to really do it for them? Prabh Singh is talked about as a batter. He had a very good season with Punjab once again inside Musaq Ali Trophy. When you talk about Prabh Singh over the last 3 seasons, he's really been having phenomenal time in the domestic circuit, but he's unable to convert that into the next stage. He's unable to convert that into the IPL. Now, definitely, spotlight is on him to deliver with no Johnny Bairstow being there. He has to maybe open with Shikhar Dhawan at the top of the order, give them those starts which maybe they expect him to give. Maybe take on the bowling attack, maybe give them, maybe opening with Shikhar Dhawan is going to give them a lot of confidence as well, especially someone of Shikhar Dhawan's experience guiding him, especially in opening in these kind of tough situations. Remember, they're going to be playing the opening game against Kolkata Knight Riders in Mohali. Mohali is considered to be one of the best batting surfaces in India, and Mohali being a flat track there, these batters can come into party a lot more. Though Mohali has got longer boundaries on the square, and the straight boundary is pretty long. That's going to be the challenge for someone like a Prabh Singh. But Prabh Singh has played most of his cricket playing in Mohali, playing in Chandigarh. So this could be an opportunity for someone like a Prabh Singh to come into the party as well. So now let's look at the best bowlers of the last season, because this is a very interesting story. Last season, you can say the stronger suit of the Punjab team was their bowling, and that is where you really feel they really could have had a better tournament with the kind of bowling there. Than Arshdeep Singh, who really went under 8 runs per over once again. Maybe not among the wickets, but Arshdeep also did not play a lot of games last season. Towards the latter end, he had to be really rested as well for a few of the games. So something which you can really expect out of Arshdeep Singh is this: that he's going to give you a staple thing of picking up wickets, and at the same time maybe going under 8 runs per over and bowling the tough overs. Remember, Arshdeep was someone who was bowling the tough overs for Punjab for the last 2 years. Coming in the 17th overs, coming in the 19th over, trying to finish off the games for Punjab, and he's done a phenomenal job. That's where you identified him to be the next, to be the player to come into the Indian team as well. After having a successful last season, he got that call up to the Indian team as well. Now he's an established T20 bowler. He's played the World Cup, and this season the eyes are going to be even more prominent on Arshdeep Singh, provided he has cleared that issue with the no ball, because he was losing his rhythm throughout the latter end of the season, where he was unable to find his feet, where he was trying to bowl a lot of no balls as well. Remember, he's also going to be playing county cricket right after this for the Kent franchise as well. Now, Liam Livingston, expect him to do that all-round job once again for them. Maybe come in and ball a little bit of leg spin, ball a little bit of off spin, and that's something which you get. Orient Smith was part of the team last season, but he's been now part of the now he's going to be part of the Gujarat Titans this season. Rahul Chair is one of their primary wicket-taking options, someone to ball through the middle overs, pick up wickets, and also contain runs as well. He did a very decent job last season. That's something which you can expect out of Rahul Chair as well. Now, Kagiso Rabada, he was hot and cold, one can say. So it's not the Kagiso Rabada which you have seen in his prime. Whenever he used to play with Delhi Capitals in 2020, 2019, something which you have not seen of Kagiso Rabada recently as well. Kagiso Rabada has slightly tapered off in terms of his T20 bowling stats. He's been conceding a lot of runs, but they'll be really hoping Kagiso Rabada is back to his complete rhythm this season and going to provide wickets up front and also in the death, partnering with Arshdeep Singh. Now, they also have another bowler they bought, as I mentioned, Sam Curran. Now, Sam Curran can definitely share a lot of workload with Kagiso Rabada in the death. Maybe Kagiso Rabada can be just used as a power play bowler and the middle over bowler. Maybe he does not have to bowl in the death overs now, with Sam Curran and Arshdeep Singh maybe carrying a lot of workload for their death overs. Now, that's going to be a positive sign for them this season, and it's about how they're going to operate with these kind of players. Now, let's look at the predicted 11. A very interesting predicted 11. About how they go about it. As you already know, Johnny Bairstow was ruled out after this. So Johnny Bairstow cannot be part of the predicted 11. So they have to look into different options. Prab Singh is that option they can go in with. Now, when we talk about Shah Rukh Khan, a player who's always promised to deliver for them but not really delivered. A gigantic name in the domestic. Last season, he came into the IPL expecting to have a breakthrough season, but he did not really deliver for them. Maybe the burden of the price tag of being so close to 9 crore really got to him. You can say so, but now is an opportunity for him once again. Not a lot of spotlight is on him. He had a very bad domestic season this time around. Maybe to get back into complete rhythm, give him that identified role position. Maybe to bat at number 5, be a finisher. Maybe identify that from him is going to be very important as well. Now, who are the options? Now, if you look at this season's Punjab team, maybe they will want to play with Bhanuka Rajapaksa at number 3. Bhanuka Rajapaksa is going to be that player to bat at number 3 for them. But if you look at the middle order, they have a Liam Livingston there, but who's going to bat around him? Then they have a Sam Curran at number 7, but who's going to be batting at number 5, number 6, number 4? These are two important questions for them to answer. If they're going to rely on Shah Rukh Khan, it's very good, but Jitesh Sharma is definitely there. Jitesh Sharma should be batting at number 4 for this franchise, considering his ability to bat against spin. He's a phenomenal batter against spin. He can actually up the ante, and T20 format is all about striking the middle overs against spin as well. Now, 7 to 14 is such an important phase in the T20 format where they will really have to counter spin, and that's where Jitesh Sharma comes into handy. Now, the question is whether they go in with someone like Rishi Dhawan or they get in someone like a Raj Bawa. Raj Bawa, again, an under 19 star, went on to play for India A as well, did pretty well with the ball over there, but can he really deliver with the bat? Last season also you saw a couple of opportunities where he got with the bat, he really did struggle. One of the opportunities was against Kolkata Knight Riders, where he really couldn't read what Sunil Narayan was bowling, and he got out, being LBW against Sunil Narayan as well in that particular occasion. But Raj Baba, after one season, it could be a much better and much matured player. And this could be an opportunity for Raj Baba to come at number 7 and ball those maybe couple of overs here and there. Sam Curran to bat at number 6. If Sam Curran can bat at number 6 and give them those flourishes, especially in the finishing end, that makes this team look even more potent on the paper, because then you will have a bowler who can do the death overs and at the same time come in and bat at the strike of 160, 170, giving them those finishes on a consistent basis. And that's where they'll need support. Can Shah Rukh Khan and Jitesh Sharma provide that support? Two Indian batters, it will be so important. It'll come down to the Indian batters once again for them to really help in terms of giving them the last flourishes. It's going to be very interesting to see how they use an impact substitute, because they have a lot of opportunity. They have a lot of resources, especially when it comes to Indian players, but not a lot of experience there. Not a lot of experience in the IPL, you can say so. Mohit Rathi is another player they have, in especially up the sleeves. Can they use him? Their Baltej Singh as well. Can they use him as a bowler who can come as an impact sub? A very interesting conundrum for them. They've also bought in someone like a Sikandar Raza in the auction. Can he be used instead of Sam Curran in certain occasion, or maybe can he come in instead of a fourth overseas player? Now, if you look, maybe instead of Bhanuka Rajapaksa on occasions, especially when you're traveling to places like Chennai or places where the ball is going to turn a lot, maybe Sikandar Raza can come into the team as an all-rounder who can maybe ball 3 to 4 overs with the ball, at the same time bat and give them the finishes as well, because Sikandar Raza is an experienced candidate. He's coming into this season of IPL. Maybe this is the first ever IPL season, but he's coming into the IPL with a lot of experience in the T20 format, playing a lot of franchise leagues, at the same time as an established international cricketer with a lot of reputation as well. He had a phenomenal T20 World Cup as well. So they'll be really hoping Sikandar Raza, whenever he gets an opportunity, continues his form wherever he's left off in the last season as well. So that's going to be a very interesting conundrum for Punjab Kings. Punjab Kings overall, you can say it's not the best looking Punjab Kings squad over the years. Of course, no Johnny Bairstow as well. That's going to really deplete them in a big way. But this season is about how they use the youngsters, how they really back the youngsters. If Punjab's Indian core can come into the party, like so Rahul Chair, Arshdeep Singh, Shikhar Dhawan, and one of the two youngsters as well, maybe Jitesh Sharma and Shah Rukh Khan, if they all can come into the party, then all of a sudden this team looks even more potent, because the overseas players who they've got is phenomenal out there. You've got a Sam Curran, you've got a Kagiso Rabada, you've got a Liam Livingston and Bhanuka Rajapaksa as well. Now these players, you can expect something out of them. But if the Indian core can come into the party, now that is where this team is going to be even more potent, and that's what's going to really give this team the wings to really qualify into the playoffs. At this point, they don't look like the team which can go into the playoffs easily, because there are other teams who are pretty strong as well. But if they can, it's going to be upon the Indian course. So do let us know in the comments if there's a season where Punjab can turn around after 2014 and make it to the playoffs for first time after 8 to 9 years now. So that's going to be very interesting. And also do comment what's your ideal playing 11 and who do you see Punjab use as an impact substitute. For more of these videos, do subscribe to our channel, as we're going to be bringing with more of these teams. And also, if you haven't already checked out our previews on previous teams, do check that out, and also show some love by sharing it with your friends and family, so we can keep bringing these videos through the course of IPL as well, to keep you informative about that. Thank you and have a good time, all of you.